So for the second part of this guy, we are going to proceed up his forehead. You really need to pay attention to the length of line that you're making and the direction. If you want a lighter line, scoot back on your pen. The closer you are to the tip of the pen, the heavier the line that you're going to make is. And he's got some little lighter fur right around his eye that we want to keep some texture in, but we want it to be light. So scoot back a little bit from the pen. For me, I find that the lines are easier to make when I push the pen away from myself than it is to try to go sideways or something. So I turn my sketchbook sideways a little bit so that the movement of my hand, I'm not fighting as well as trying to deal with the pen. And I'm really paying attention to the light and the dark that's happening right around his eye. And I want to build the texture, so I don't want this to be really long lines and just colored in dark. I want to think about that sort of salt and pepper fur that he has up on his forehead and back into his ear area. And I want to build the value a little bit at a time and still keep some of those lighter patches around the eye. And so I'm going to work this texture. And fur is not even. It's not been combed. Every hair doesn't lay exactly in the same direction. So if you want it to look a little bit more realistic, then make your lines go in a variety of directions, slight variations, not big changes in direction, but little ones. I also did not go back and outline this. I'm allowing the value, the darkness that I'm creating in that fur to define his edge. If I go through and I just draw a hard outline around him, he's going to look cartoony. And I don't want that. So I did not draw an outline. I just created that sort of furry texture. Now his lower lip is pretty dark, so I'm going to go in there with some hatching and cross hatching. It's not really furry. It's got a slight texture, not as much as the tip of the nose does, but it's smoother. It's more of a skin flat sort of surface, and so I'm trying to create, without completely making it black like the inside of the mouth, I'm trying to create a little bit smoother surface. And so I'm going to use that hatching and cross hatching with very even lines as I do that upper lip on him. Now his muzzle area is white fur. It's still got some texture in it though, so I'm scooting back on my pen. I'm kind of lifting up, not touching the surface quite as hard, and I'm tilting the pen as far as I can take it over and still get some sort of mark on the page, and just trying to create some of that light texture that's happening in his muzzle. Paying attention again to the direction the fur grows. It tends to grow from the top of the nose down the sides of the muzzle, and then it sweeps down and around the cheek under the eye.